Support for Another Round comes from Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com today for a domain experience that's transparent and easy to set up. Just make sure you enter offer code Another Round at checkout to get 10% off. Make your next move with Squarespace.
Hey everyone, Eleanor from the Pod Squad here. I just wanted to share with you some very exciting news, and that is that Another Round is having a live show in Chicago, and we want to see you there. Join us on June 21st at Thalia Hall for a live taping of the podcast. It's going to be amazing. It's part of WBEZ's Podcast Passport series. And tickets go on sale on Friday, May 5th. And for more information, go to wbez.org/events.
You're great. Wonderful. Continue. You got it? Yes. More of that. Love it. Do it. Sneeze on it. Tear it up. Throw it in the gutter. Stomp on it. Do it.
Thank you, DJ Khaled.
You're welcome.
You a don. You a mogul. You my son. Shout out to DJ Khaled. Hi everyone, I'm Heben.
I'm Tracy.
And welcome to Another Round with Heben and Tracy.
Yay! We are so crazy excited to be here live at the Wing.
Hey.
It's beautiful. There's not a single man in sight.
Woo! Praise, Tracy, praise.
Yes.
Who do we have on the show today, though?
I can't even. So I have not been this nervous since like show number 15. Like this is like a new level of like nerves for me. But in case you got here by accident and you just don't know, we're gonna be sitting down and chit-chatting with the one and only Remy Ma. And what a timely interview, right?
I don't know if we'll have anything to talk about.
Listen, I heard that and I was like, she did this just for us. I appreciate it. So we're gonna sit down and chit-chat with her, and then we're gonna do a little Q&A. So be thinking about your questions. Do not come to a microphone with a 7-part question.
Don't do it. Don't do
You
it.
will be evicted. But first, we want to give a very, very, very warm shout out to the young ladies who are here from the Womanhood Project. That's hood in all capital letters. Give it up to them. Where y'all at? Let's see. Womanhood Project. Here? There you go. So these lovely young women are part of the Womanhood Project, which is an after-school mentorship program for young women of color in the BX. That's what people in New York call the Bronx. I learned that yesterday. And they focus on feminism, media literacy, and community history, which is so, so important. So we're so excited that you can be here to see an amazing product of the Bronx, Remy herself. So we have current Bronx superstar and current younger upcoming Bronx superstars, and I just feel so humbled to be in everybody's presence.
Shout out to the teens.
Yeah.
The young women.
Yeah. So, she's bold, she's brazen, and she is bad as fuck. Helen from the Bronx, New York. She's a winner of multiple Source and Vibe Awards. Also, Bring Back the Source Awards. It was supposed to take away from us. She's also a Grammy-nominated artist. In addition to being known for her fire bar, she is a Love and Hip Hop star. And let me tell you, I've been watching Love and Hip Hop since it first debuted in 1983. It's been on forever. And we don't even acknowledge love as a thing.
Ooh.
Like romantic love, we don't really do that.
Guess.
But we're still jealous of her and Papoose. They're just so
goals.
cute. They're adorable. So ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the one and only Remy Ma.
Hey.
Hi. Ma, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, you look so good.
Oh my God.
Hi, guys.
Hey. Boots. Oh my God.
We're just letting everyone have a second to take it all in.
Yeah, just drink it all in. Drink it all
These
in.
are this girl from Toronto. Her name is Jennifer Lee. She makes these. She makes them herself.
Oh my God.
And she's a friend of mine, and I think she's amazing. So if you guys get a chance to check out Jennifer Lee.
Jennifer Lee?
And they're not uber expensive. They're reasonable. You won't have to not pay your rent for them.
Awesome. I still can't afford them. So.
Yes.
It's so great, all these ladies.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes you just
excited.
need this.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need this.
I love being in all women's spaces, and there are this many brown women in the space. Yes.
Shout out. So, Neither of us are originally from New York. I'm from Kentucky. She is from Virginia by way of Ethiopia. We both live in Brooklyn, which means that we don't spend a lot of time in the Bronx because it's far.
It's a long-distance relationship.
That is a long-distance
I
relationship.
could see how that would happen.
Yeah, I would love to, but 7 hours on a train, who is gonna?
7 hours on the 2.
But think about it. You know, I'm from the Bronx and my husband's from Brooklyn, so
Shout out to everybody from the Bronx.
you never know. It might be a love connection in there somewhere.
It's a real long-distance relationship right there.
Invite us to the wedding. When you're not in the Bronx, what do you miss about it the most?
Strangely, I'm in the Bronx a lot. Like I am. I had an interview the other day, and they were like, you know, is it like a fanfare thing when you guys go back to the Bronx? They was talking to me and Fat Joe, and we're like, we're in the Bronx so much, I don't even think they get a chance to miss us. Like seriously, the sneaker store that I've been going to since I was in high school is in the Bronx. So anytime some new sneakers is coming out, I'm there. And you know Jordans come out like once a week. I have my mother-in-law is in the Bronx, and my husband. You know, you probably can't tell, but he's a super mama's boy, so we spend a lot of time there. And I don't really know a lot of the places that I like to eat. I go to the same pizza shop. Yes, City Island.
Yes!
I go to City Island. I go to the same pizza shop that I would go to when I was in junior high school because they have these slices of pizza that are like this big. So if I had to ever cheat like on my diet and I go get a slice of pizza, I go there because it's really like 3 slices. But I'm in the Bronx a lot. So
you still in these streets?
Yeah.
I respect it.
Unfortunately, yeah. Fortunately, but unfortunately. Like that's just who I am. Like I never really adapted to the whole, you know, industry and Hollywood thing. It's just not me. So, you know.
You can take the girl out of the Bronx, but
no, they can't get me out. That's the whole thing.
So I am a little bit. So I might be ovulating right now. I mean, this is relevant. This is relevant. This is relevant. No,
Go on.
Like honestly, like we were in the back and I'm walking around. I was like, I think my egg is like literally dropping right now.
She did literally just say this.
That being said, I think about
I
baby
want to know
names a
where's
lot.
this going, please.
I mean, same,
Me every
lightweight. But I think about baby names a lot. And
Okay.
your name is beautiful. So in case you guys don't
you.
know, your first name is Reminisce, hence the Remy.
Yeah.
What's the story behind your name?
I don't know. I never really asked. What's so crazy is just I actually grew up until I was probably like in school thinking that my name was Kika or Kia. My middle name is Kiani. And all the kids, like I guess my mom and them, they would call me Kia for short. But the younger kids in the family never could say Kia, so it just turned into Kika. So my whole family calls me Kika. So when I went to school and they were like, you know, Reminisce, I'm like, who is this person? Who is that? So, you know, and no one calls me. Everyone calls me Ram or Remy. So unless you're like in my family, like if one of you guys were like to walk me down the street, like Kika, I would never turn around. Like my brain only functions on certain voices saying it. Like I literally could be in a room and someone says Kia or something, I won't even turn. Like it won't register. But if my mom's like Kika, I'm like, you know, it's like that instinct is like, what did I do now? But it's so weird because I meet people and stuff. It's like I named my daughter after you. Her name is Reminisce. I'm just like, wow. There goes my daughter's name. I always said I was gonna have a daughter and make her a junior just because.
I think you should do it anyway, personally.
Oh, thank you.
Also, Tracy is both a boy's name and a girl's
Okay,
name.
Tracy.
Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
Sure, let's throw that out there as well.
I'll think about that.
That's all I wanted. All I wanted was a
Tracy.
nice lie. That's it. I appreciate it. Support for Another Round comes from Squarespace. With Squarespace, you get a unique domain experience that's simple to set up and an all-in-one platform to help you create a beautiful website. Which brings me to a game of Would You Rather Internet Edition. And here is where we invite Tyler Sorensen from BuzzFeed's creative department into the studio to ask me one hard Would You Rather question about the internets. Hi, Tyler.
Hey, Tracy.
What's up?
Not much. I have your question, though, if you want to answer that.
Let's do it.
Here it is. It's, would you rather your employer see your search history or your parents?
Easy answer. I would rather have my employer see my search history because I can blame it on working for a company as strange as BuzzFeed. Like, oh, I had to look up this very embarrassing thing because I'm researching it for a post. But I would have no excuses for my mom. I mean, I guess it could have been just be like, no, it's for work.
So you don't really care who
I
sees
don't care.
it? Okay.
Show it to the world. Get your unique domain today at squarespace.com. If you sign up for a year, the domain is completely free, and you can also save 10% off your first purchase with the offer code Another Round, as in the title of the wonderful show that you are listening to right now. Make your Make your next move with Squarespace.
So we have a lot to discuss on a lot of tips.
Yes.
But I do want to start a little bit back before what people
Well, I'm a
talk about
Gemini,
right
so
now.
we just talk all day. Any Geminis here,
Hey.
you know that we don't shut up.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey.
So you are popping right now.
Thank you.
One could say that.
One
I
could
would
say,
agree.
one could say. I wanted to be a rapper when I was a kid.
Excuse me.
It is
Well,
true. And then I
what?
realized I was not good.
Aww,
When
yes,
did you realize
were.
you were good?
Well, you still can be a rapper. There are a lot of them that are not good and they're rappers. Don't give up your dreams so easily.
Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's not a requirement to be good. The weird thing is that I never wanted to be a rapper. I never thought I would be a rapper. I run into, and I'm actually friends with some of my teachers and professors from school, and they all think it's the most insane thing in the world that I'm a rapper. I think, I thought I was gonna be, an astronaut or something. I don't know,
Did you really want to be an
No,
astronaut?
I really thought I was a genius when I was a kid. Like, seriously. I thought I was the smartest person on the planet.
Like a
I'm
rocket
telling you.
scientist.
Like, I really thought that. And then I ran into, some real geniuses. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not a genius. But I wanted to be a mortician.
What?
I wanted to be,
Where
because
does
I felt like.
where does one
listen,
acquire this desire?
because I felt like if I was a mortician, I was the person that I would go to the doctor and steal needles and try to be a amateur phlebotomist at home, gas my friends to let me draw their blood. I'd go to the GYN and steal all the equipment and be giving my friends pap smears. I swear, true story, the craziest.
Wait.
They wouldn't let me
We gotta pause. We gotta pause real quick. We gotta pause.
Wait. So you just show up at your best friend's house with a speculum and you
No, but what
And you want
happened is we would cut school at Planned Parenthood. If you ever went to Planned Parenthood in the hood, you are there for hours. So we would go in the morning, 8 in the morning. We'd be I don't know, my stomach is just hurting. I need birth control. I need the foam. I need a Depo shot. I need condoms, all type, and spend the whole day cutting school in Planned Parenthood because one, you're not worrying about the cops finding you. You know you're gonna spend the whole day. We'd be in there talking, gossiping, and just chilling, whatever. And then we go in the room. This is our 5th time there this month, and we're stealing speculums and the long giant Q-tips, and we would go home and take the shade off of the lamp, and it was sick. It was definitely looking back and explaining that, it was definitely sick. But
what did you do with the lampshade though?
you take the lampshade off so you can have the light, so you can see really good.
Duh, Tracy. Duh.
You're right.
And that these are the things that I would do. If I got so sick and went to the emergency, it was a free fall. I was in there shh. So I felt if I was a mortician, I would get to see everything. I get to cut open the body and look at all the organs, and then put them back together, and then my fashion start coming. I get to dress them and do their makeup and their hair. That was my dream job. And then I'm people die all the time. I'm gonna have a job forever.
That's true.
So
they always say the businesses that will never go out, liquor stores.
So that was
and funeral homes.
That's what I thought. And then the rap thing came because I used to write poems. I would just pretty much put my thoughts down and write poems. And my brother was actually a rapper at the time. Not famous, but he thought he was. And he used to be, I looked up to him, so he would be in the room rapping and stuff like that. And I would take my poems and rap them to beats. And then one day I just stopped writing poems. I had a book of rhymes now as opposed to a poetry book. And I was on my way home from school, and one of my friends knew one of the late great Big Pun's friends, and he was like the only Grammy-nominated multi-platinum rapper that still wanted to be in the Bronx before me. And they took me to his house, and he was like, you know, she raps or whatever. You want to say something? So I rapped for him, and he was like, all right, give me. He was like, no. What he actually said was like, that might be your only good one. Give me another one. So I rapped for him again, and he was like, you know, I'm gonna call you or whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool, fine. Like I had like a beeper. I didn't even have like a number, so I gave him like my beeper number and my grandmother's house number. And the next day when I came home from school, my grandmother was like, someone's on the phone for you. I don't understand what he's saying, but I think he wants to talk to you. So I spoke to him. He's like, you live in 2245, right? You live in Randall. So I'm like, yeah. He's like, come downstairs. I'm like, downstairs where? In front of my building? He's like, yeah. So I went downstairs, and he was like in this giant 600 series Benz. He's like, get in. He's like, you know how to braid, right? Old black girls know how to braid. I'm like, yeah, I actually do know how to braid.
See, I'd have been like,
So
no, actually, I
he's
can't.
like, you know, I need some cornrows. I'm shooting a video with Fat Joe and Jennifer Lopez, and he drove me to some location in the Bronx, and I was on the video set with him and Fat Joe and Jennifer Lopez braiding his hair, and pretty much every day after that day, he was just like, you're gonna be a rapper, that's it. So I'm like, no, but I'm going to school. He's like, no, you don't need to go to school anymore, that's a waste.
How old were you?
I was 17.
Oh, you were a baby.
I was 17, yeah.
So you went from wanting to study bodies and cadavers to bodying bitches. if you will.
See how things kind of come full circle?
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I see what you did there.
That was good, right? That was a good transition.
See?
You didn't play in that at
Pursue
all.
that rap thing. Yeah.
Don't gas me. But I did like on shETHER that you made a point to be like, you got bodied by a love and hip hop bitch. Can we talk about love and hip hop for a little bit?
Let's please,
can.
because I love with like, to like an uncomfortable degree maybe. I just love the franchise. And the crazy thing is that, okay, so I don't self-identify as a messy bitch.
Okay.
But I enjoy watching
Do they ever?
I mean, honestly, some of them do, and some of them are on Love and Hip Hop. But I enjoy watching other messy bitches on TV. Like it's like it's self-care for me. You are not that person. Like you and Pap are arguably the most low drama cast members on any black reality show that I've seen, and I have seen them all. I've watched all of them, and usually I'm like, they happy, that's boring. But I see y'all, and I'm just like, what's going on next? Like, people love and gravitate towards the two of you in a beautiful way. Why did you decide to do the show?
I think, well, one, I had just come home from doing almost 7 years in prison. And regardless of what people, well, no matter how much you say I'm innocent and that's not what happened and this is what happened, once you do that much time in prison, people are gonna just believe what they want to believe. Like people were like uncomfortable being around me. Like I'm here to tell you that everyone who is in prison is not guilty the same way everyone who's not in prison is not innocent.
Listen.
One time for the people in the back.
So, you know, I just felt like I had to do damage control. You know, people felt uncomfortable being around me. Like, well, it says here that she went to prison for X, Y, and Z. Like, we don't know if we can work with her. And I just felt like people had only seen one side of me. My whole life. They seen, you know, the Annie Up girl and the lean back, walk around the metal detectors. Like, they didn't know, like, you know, Remy Ma, the mom, or the daughter, or the wife, or any of those things. So I'm like, what better place to display the good sides about me than on the absolute train wreck of hip hop? Like, these people are so horrible that they're gonna make me look like I'm gonna have a walk in the park being the good one here.
God.
So, like, seriously, I think people enjoy seeing absolute train wrecks, things that, like, that could never be me. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Or people that are so perfect, it's like, that could never be neither. Like, there's no medium. So, you know, a lot of times people like, you know, these people get on reality TV and they're throwing drinks and they're just, I already knew, I'm like, no one's ever gonna throw a drink at me. Like,
Can you
I was
imagine?
not worried about that at all. Like, that's not gonna happen. But you know, people were like, you know, what happened? They're gonna spin it around and make you look crazy. And I'm like, if I'm not acting crazy when the camera's on, it's impossible to spin anything any type of way because I'm not giving you that, you know, that footage or that material to work with. But what me and my husband have is actually really, really genuine. And people were worried, like, I'm worried about you guys. I see people in relationships and they go on these reality TV shows and, you know, their relationships go to shit. And I'm like, well, considering that I was in prison for almost 7 years and, you know, he kind of stuck around, I'm still waiting patiently every day for some random email like, yeah, bitch, I was fucking man while you was going. Like, every now and then I check random emails like,
So wait, you've never
you know
gotten
that's-
any of those
no,
emails?
you know that's what side chicks do. They wait till you're happy and then they start letting the emails and bitches fly. Oh, you think you're happy? What about this, bitch? So, you know, I haven't gotten any of those. And, you know, he really was there from day one. The first year that I was away, he literally came to visit me every single day, 365 days a year, like out of the year. To the point that I had to tell him, like, listen, you have a job, you know, like this is not gonna last as you're gonna be walking here soon. Like you have to, you know, worry about you too. And he's just like, I swear, and it's bad, and I'm gonna say this to all of us as women. We have kind of been programmed in a way to think that all men are pieces of shit. And we've been rightfully programmed. We should think that.
With evidence, with evidence.
No, this is known. But what happens is, which in my case, when you do find a guy that is different from everyone else, we're so programmed that guys are trash that we can't accept it. Like literally for the first, I did 6 years, 4 months and 5 days. I would say probably up to 6 years, 4 months and 3 days. I was like, you're gonna leave. I know you're gonna leave. You're not gonna be sticking around. Like, I just couldn't believe that somebody would care that much about me to put their whole life aside and just be dedicated to me. And I think sometimes as women, we block our blessings and because we're so focused on the negative. Like, there's no, like, I never thought, like, there's no way this guy's gonna do it. No guy does that. Like, you just don't. Like, I couldn't have sex with him. Like, I know how much we were having sex before I got locked up. I'm like, he is definitely out there doing something. There's, like, no way on this planet. But what happens is when you do find that person that loves you and that they cherish you, they're not going to risk, you know, what they have with you for that momentary satisfaction. And that's what I found with him. So when I got on that show, I told him, like, listen, don't try to be pulling out no baby mamas or nothing crazy from door number 2. Don't try to, like, don't do it because I don't know how I'm gonna react. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna try to behave and be, you know, the person that we are. But I just want to, I said the name of the show is Love and Hip Hop. For once, you know, live up to the title. And Mona Scott, who's the creator behind that, she was like, I think you guys embody what love and hip hop is, and that I want to showcase that. And they did. That doesn't go to say that he doesn't get on my nerves sometimes, because he does. He's getting on my nerves right now because he keeps calling me knowing that I'm doing an interview. But you have to, weigh the pros. Do you want him to be faithful and get on your nerves and call you too much? Or do you want him to stick to every chick that walks fast and don't call you at all?
Right.
So.
I started watching Love and Hip Hop literally just for this interview. And I was honestly surprised. I know, thank you, you're welcome. I was honestly surprised by how many tender, genuine, beautiful moments there were between y'all, and that there aren't that many places in pop culture where I'm thinking about what it means to be an incarcerated family, and like what toll that takes on individuals and what the prison system does to families. Like, I got into a lot through Love and Hip Hop, and I'm curious, like, you say people don't understand what it was like in there. Like, what don't people understand?
Well, it's horrible. It's designed to be horrible, and it's designed to break you. It's called a correctional system and a rehabilitation centers, but it does not correct anything, and it does nothing to rehabilitate you. It doesn't prepare you to come back into society. After you've done your time, you're still stigmatized. You can't get a job. You can't even get housing. You can't, most of your friends and family have moved on with their lives. And it was more so bad for women because I've been to visit men in prison before. Like, younger, and you have the bad boyfriend. Like, I'm gonna go see my boyfriend in jail. You get there, and like his other girlfriend is there, and you get into a fight, and they kick you out. Because, like, it's crazy. Like, it's really crazy. But you go to the prison where these women are at, and it is like tumbleweeds blowing through the visiting floor. There's no one there. Their friends, their besties are gone, moving on with their lives, with their kids or their man or whatever they're doing at their jobs. The parents, if they have children, the parents are usually stuck raising their children. I've been in there with women who literally, Bedford Hills is about 45 minutes from here. People who live in the tri-state area in the 5 boroughs who haven't seen their children in a decade. Like, people literally just throw them away. They forget about them, like they're not important. And women get double the sentence that a man would get for the same crime. They feel like,
I didn't know
you're
that.
a woman. You're supposed to be a nurturer. You're supposed to be feminine. And you're supposed to be, how dare you commit a crime, or how dare you get accused of committing a crime, or whatever the case may be. And it was just really heartbreaking to know it was, at any given time, 1,000 women in the prison, and everybody has a visit every day. I would be on the visiting floor with me and my husband and maybe one other girl, maybe two. You'll see people sometimes on Mother's Day. People will come up that one holiday out of the year. 365 days is a long time. Every day when you're getting 1 hour to be outside, like, God forbid if you were like me, who stayed in trouble because I was like doing stuff like having phones and hair dye,
What?
and eyelashes,
Wait,
like
let's
trying,
talk about
trying
this
to be
trouble.
cute. Like,
Where'd you get the
and,
hair dye from?
I don't snitch.
I had to try.
You get in trouble, and it's like you would be locked up while you're locked up, and it's like kind of inhumane. Like, you get to take a shower 3 times a week for 10 minutes. So I would get a shower on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for 10 minutes. On those other days, you get like a little bucket of hot water. So obviously, when that time of the month rolls around, you want to die.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's disgusting. Like, and then the way it's just set up, for women, you could get a curling iron, you could get lipstick, you can get what other unnecessary female stuff. You can get all these things for women, but you can't get sanitary napkins or tampons, like just stupid stuff. Like, I didn't understand it. Like, so I can get a lipstick. Like, not every woman wears lipstick. Not every woman is gonna need, a curling iron. At some point in your life, maybe for a long period, you're gonna need some type of sanitary products, and you can get them. Like, it was just things that I noticed while I was there because I was there, so I experienced it. I would never have ever experienced it had I not went through that. And most of my friends that I have now are people that I met there. Like, my real friends, I guess, or the friends I grew up with, like, they forgot about me a year later. After a year was gone, like, they stuck it out the first couple of months. Then year 2 came, year 3, year 5, year 6. They have children that I don't know. They have things, like, people go on with their lives. Yeah. And it's weird because in this system, they force you to, integrate and be around women. But then when you come home, like I am now, like, it's a rule, post-release supervision or parole or whatever, you're not allowed to interact with anybody who has a felony or anything like that. So these are people that I done cried with because Christmas comes, New Year's comes, Mother's Day, and you're crying with these people together, and now I can't talk to them, or now I can't send them anything, or I risk going back to prison. So it's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I would be there with someone who probably has the similar case as me, and I had 8 years and they had 28 years. And the girl over there who, has nothing, nowhere near as serious as a violent crime, she had something that had to do with, checks or credit cards, and she has 15 years. So you're like, there's no logic to the system. They can just pretty much give you whatever number they feel like giving you.
Very
and
arbitrary.
Your life is like just done. Like, that's why I'm so thankful to God that I'm able to sit here and talk to you people and just be successful and be able to take care of my family. Most of my friends are struggling to find a job. They've been home for 2-3 years, still struggling to find housing. they don't have any money, like they don't have anything. So, you know, it's really hard as a woman, as a black woman with a felony, forget about it. Like you have so many strikes against you.
What if we handed you a magic wand right now? We were like, you can change anything that you want about the prison system, specifically like the women's prison system, the way that women are treated in prison. What would you change?
I don't know. It's so much that I would change. I feel like there's some people that, you know, everyone's not perfect, and, you know, people make mistakes, like, but there's some people who I know that went to prison when they was 17, 18 years old. They're 35 years old. I don't think the same way that I think now when I was 25 or when I was 17. So it's like it has to be some type of something where people are treated like you're still a person, you're still a human being, and the way that we're treated, like, that's probably why I'm so easy to be open and talk about things now, because that's one good thing that the system is to me. And they reading all my mail, they're listening to all my phone calls, they are literally strip searching me whenever they feel like it. And it got to the point where I was just like, I done showed everything of me to strangers that treated me like crap. So it's nothing for me to sit here with people who are genuinely, you know, showing me love and just give them all of me. You know, I think that people need to be looked at differently. You can't judge somebody based on one action that they committed, that they may or may have not committed in their entire life. Like, you can do 20, 25, 30 years of good and get into one thing, and everything good that you've done is negated, and you'll just be based on that one thing. Like even me, people judge me all the time. Like, I get called an inmate and a felon, and it's like, I just don't let it bother me, because I know that I'm blessed, and God did all of that for some reason. He did all of that to me, and I've been able to touch a lot of people and help a lot of people since then. So, you know, I'm actually glad that, you know, I'm able to sit here and share my story with people and give people hope that, you know, it's not over.
So a lot can happen in 6, 7, 8 years. We went from like gauchos being mildly a fad to culottes being the thing we call them now. And like, I don't know, just mad fashion trends go here and there, and rap from when you like went in versus where we're at now. Like, I feel like trap wasn't really popping all crazy
We
before
went through a lot
then.
of
Now the flows are all like, nah, nah,
Hit it,
nah,
hit it, yeah, I got 7, in it, in it,
fire.
Right. We just made a trap song. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I don't know what y'all talking about. No, but did you feel like you had to hop on like a different wave? Like, so much can change in that time.
I just be me, you know. I don't know how to be anybody else but me. You know, there's some people that are great at being other people and being fake and, you know, just switching to whatever they think is the it thing, you know.
So you didn't feel the pressure to become a trap artist?
No,
A different type of trap artist.
No. The thing is this. I can't really hold up a facade for too long. You'll catch me on a bad day, and they'll be like, yeah, Ram, because the other day, and I'm like, nah, that was not the day. I don't feel like that anymore. Like, I would never, ever be able to uphold any type of image at all. Like, that's why I just be myself. I know I can do that one really well. The rest of them, you know, I feel like that's why people sometimes, you know, they end up looking stupid or getting exposed because they were trying to be something that they were not. And I don't know. I grew up in a home. When I did grow up in a home, because I had my points when I wasn't there, but with my mom and my grandmother had 5 daughters, so I grew up around a lot of women, and they all have really, really bad attitudes. And, no, really bad. I don't think you understand, really bad. And a lot of them were single moms, and I I just learned from watching them that you just be who you are. If people don't accept you for who you are, I don't want to have to make somebody like me. If you like me, I want you to like me because you like me. I don't want to have to jump through hoops if I'm like, oh, now I like her. Like, no, I want you to like me for me. I don't want to create this person, or I don't want to have to ever go outside and be like, okay, I got to go do this event at the wing. Let me turn into Remy Ma. Like, no, I want to be me at all times. Anybody who sees me here or they see me, you know, on a plane or whatever, they're always going to say that they met the same person, you know?
Yeah. So you're an independent artist.
Yes.
What does
that mean, or
what does that mean
entail?
to you? Like,
That's a
what does
great question.
independence mean to you, like, now?
Independent is, okay, I'm gonna try to break this down really quick. In most deals, every record deal that I've had 3 record deals. In most of these deals, the artist, you make all the music. You know, find somebody, and unless you know how to do it, I'm not that talented where I know how to make my own beats, but you have someone who makes the beat, you have this idea, you make your music, and the record label, they say, hey, we're gonna give you this money, we're gonna promote it, we're gonna make sure, you know, the radio plays it, we're gonna give you money for your video, we're gonna do all these things, and we pretty much own everything that you do. It's ours. From the second that it comes out of your mouth. So 20 years from now, you know, if they want to use Conceited in a, you know, CoverGirl commercial, they don't pay me anything because I don't own it. I wrote it, it's my song, but the record label that I was signed to, they own it. And when I'm selling all of these, you know, music or whatever, before I get a dime, oh yeah, that video that we said we paid for it, but we didn't really pay for it. We need our money back for that, plus interest. So, you know, that's how the system works when I had a record deal. Now, because of things like the internet and streaming and, you know, the closing of record stores, they sign artists to what are called 360 deals, where they literally have their hand on every single thing you do. If you're doing a performance, they get a percentage of that. If you have merchandise, they have a percentage of that. If you get an endorsement deal, they have a percentage of that. Any single thing that you touch, because that's the only way they can make money. They're not really making money off of record sales and things like that. So they're signing these people to 360 deals, and they still own your masters, and they own everything that is you. As an independent artist, I take my own money. I take my own money and I invest it into myself. 1, I know where the money's going to. And 2, I appreciate it more because you're gonna work hard. If you put up 50,000 of your own dollars, trust me, you're gonna take it really fucking serious. As opposed to if a label puts up 50,000, like they take it back, but it's not like they're taking it out of your pocket. They're recouping it, so it's not like literally coming from you. And I own my masters. From now on, like if down the line someone says, hey, we want to use All the Way Up, I'll be like, give me a second. Hey, Joe, they want to use our record. You want to give them your 50%? I'll give them mine. They're paying us. Like, you know, it gives me something to pass on to my children that is theirs, as opposed to, you know, record exec Joe Schmo passing it down to his children, and he didn't do anything but, you know, put up the money. They don't know how to make music. They don't know write songs. So why should they? That was one of the things that, you know, the artist Prince would fight for, that he was trying to tell artists about for years, how we were being pimped out and hoed out. So, you know, that's independence, means it's yours and you have something tangible that you can pass down and live off of. Like, this is not a business of longevity. You know, it's changing even more so each day. You get a certain, she's old, she's washed up, she's this, or he's gone, like, so you gotta make sure that your business is right for when they throw you away and take the next hot artist that they think is coming out. So that's independent.
How did you learn all this stuff?
Right.
Like, who taught you to be so, like, on top of, like, the business part of all of this?
When I was in prison and I had a lot of time to think, I pretty much subscribed to every billboard and every type of magazine that tells you about the business, and I started seeing how they were calculating the Nielsen sound scan and the touring budgets and the people that were touring, and I was looking at it like, in rap, they throw their so-called legends away. In other genres of music, like Madonna could go sell out right now, even though she came out in the 70s and the 80s, or a Bruce Springsteen, or, you know, a Mariah Carey. Only in rap do these people you have a very short time period. So I started looking at things like that, and then I also realized that I had went through hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions, God, I don't even want to think about it, of dollars on dumb shit. I had a whole bunch of pocketbooks and shoes and all this stuff that wasn't worth shit. It wasn't worth anything. When people were calling and they were using my song in video games, and they were using, like when these games were coming out for phones and the Just Dance, they were using my music. And I wasn't getting money for it. I could have used it. I was in prison, not making $1 off of anything. And the record label was making all of that. And I was like, I would never, ever do that again. Like, why do they deserve that? Like, I didn't need it, especially now in this day and age where you can become a sensation just over the internet. Like, you people, it's a different channel. You don't really need that push or that backing from the label. So I was like, when I go home, I'm never, ever doing it. They may have all of those that I've done, but any new material that I do from this day forward, I'm going to own it and I'm going to have it. And that's just from observation, really.
I would love to be able to look at somebody and be like, I own my masters, bitch.
Yes.
Speaking of, y'all like that transition? I feel like we would be run out of this city if we did not ask about
Facts.
a certain song that you released recently called shETHER.
Nicki with a Minaj. I'ma park this bitch, put Nicki in the garage. I'm getting money like Nicki Bonds. I'm the big homie. I responded in less than 48 hours.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if anybody's heard it.
Were we there for this?
I feel like the release of this track was one of those like historical moments where you know where you were when you heard it, right? I know where I was.
Where were you, Tracy?
I was laying in my black ass bed. My roommate is here somewhere. I don't know where she is, but she texted me because there she is in the corner. She texted me because it was like 1, 2 o'clock, and I'm still in the bed because it's Saturday or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm tired. And she sends me a text with a link, and she says, Remy just released a Nicki diss track that hurt my feelings. And so I'm like, oh shit, let me peep it. And every time I yelped out loud, she was in the living room, she would laugh and just be like, girl, I know.
I was literally on vacation. I had to pause vacation.
This one was in Trinidad. I
I was in a goddamn hammock with that one.
in a hammock with
pause,
this one.
pause, y'all, pause, team. We have to listen to this
right.
right now.
So I mean, like not to make this about me, but
We haven't been talking about you all night. I just have a note to name my children after you, but go ahead.
You also know that I'm ovulating right now, but this is not about me, y'all. That's not why we're here. I identify as a Nicki fan. I identify as a Remy fan. I identify as a hip hop fan.
Okay.
And so this for me was like a return to like, and I don't want to be like one of those like
Old
mid-30s,
heads.
like, oh, this is real hip hop, son. It's real hip hop. We beefing. But that's how I felt. I was like, yes. It was fun for me. It was a lot of fun for me to like see and experience. But to be honest, like my head is still kind of spinning, and I know like the history and the timeline, but not for real. So here's my understanding of it. Please correct me when I fuck up, because I'm gonna fuck up. I've been researching for a week, and I'm just like, so somebody made a song? I don't know. So here's my understanding.
Okay.
Once upon a time, Nicki made a song called Dirty Money, which some think contained subliminal shots at you. You responded with a song that many think was about Nicki, but it really wasn't. Nicki made a song with Gucci called Make Love, which many people think was dissing you. And now we're here at the wing about to talk about shETHER, which was in response to Make Love.
Can you please just give us the timeline? I'm so confused.
Basically, we don't know how we got here.
Okay, so here's the thing. First of all,
Okay.
I do not condone or recommend the tearing down of another female.
Of course.
That's not what I do.
Sure.
Anybody that knows me knows that I embrace females. I always want to do like some girl-oriented thing. I think we work so much better when we work together.
Yes.
And when
for
we help
sure.
each other. And, you know, I just don't, especially when I know someone who's come from somewhere like I have come from, when you come from the bottom and you've actually managed to make something out of yourself, that just makes me happy. It just makes me all mushy inside. However, in the event that you piss me off and we become arch enemies, run for cover. Because I don't care. Like, then I don't care anymore. Now it's like there's nothing even, to think about. But no, realistically, it's a lot that was going on. There was things that were said on record. Like, the record thing, I feel like as women, and I've said this since the first time I've ever touched a mic, that you're supposed to say you're the best. And this is just not in rap. This is in any field. I don't care what you're doing, whether it's law, it's medicine. If you're a secretary, you're supposed to think you're the best damn one that's out there. I don't care if the chick next to you has, a fancy little desk and she gets paid more than you. Like, so what? I'm still the best coffee maker in here. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
So, right. So, and that's how I feel you should always feel. You should wake up and feel like you're the best at what you do. And if you don't feel like that, you can be better or you will be the best. You should never feel like, oh, you're number two to anybody, or you should never make yourself number two to anybody. And that's just how I am. I've always been like that. I don't care what anyone says. I just think that I'm the shit. So, I encourage other people to feel like that. You just feel so much better. Like I've went through periods where I felt like all my friends were short and they were light skinned, had long hair, and I was like 5'9", and I had this snappy curly thing going on, and I went through those phases where I felt like I didn't fit in with everybody else. And then one day I just woke up and I was like, this is dumb. Like I'm not gonna keep bleaching my hair, it keeps falling out every time I try to lighten it. Like these contacts is too much. Like I just woke up one day and was like, this is who I am and that's who I'm gonna be and that's that. So when you have someone that is behind the scenes, doing little catty things to you and sneaky things to you, that bothers me. I don't really care about things on the record. People's like, oh, she was subbing you when she said that. Because I had people doing that. Oh, I think she's talking about you. Okay, if she doesn't say my name, and that's not just to her, to anybody. If you don't say my name, I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I think she's talking about me and waste space. I'm worried about getting this bag. And when I mean about getting this bag, I need this money. I need to make sure that the bag is secured. I don't care about anything else, no cattiness, because a lot of times that's what women do. Women are very catty, women are very competitive, and then a lot of times it's the men that are around that's like, oh, I think she's talking about you, or she's trying to take your spot, or she's trying to do this, and then we feed into it, and then it turns into something else, and they step back and be like, I'm staying out of that girl stuff. You started it. So, it was never really, it was music things, but it was about behind the scene things. Like I said, when I did on Wednesday, when I actually said I was done, and I don't want to talk about it no more, because when I'm done, I'm done. I'm going to say what I say, and that's that. It bothered me, though, like when I'm promoting, I'm not like, yo, I want her to do her thing, and I'm happy, but like, I actually liked her.
Yeah.
I still don't have a problem at it, but don't try to come for me. Like, I explain to people, and my husband thinks it's the sickest thing on the planet. He's like, how do you just catalog information about people in the event that one day you might get into an argument? So I'm going to explain it. a little bit. Because when I explain it, sounds kind of sick that I do that. But let me tell you what happened. When I was younger, I would have arguments with people, and then I wasn't good at arguing. Like, the argument would be over, and I'd be like 2 hours later, and I feel like I thought I got my whole asshole chewed out. I'd be like, I had good points. I just couldn't think of them at the time because I was so mad, and it just skipped my mind. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start cataloging this in the event that anything ever happens, I'm going to be prepared in future arguments. Sounds crazy, but I started winning arguments after then.
That's smart.
Like, people would get into me, I'd be like, haha, I bet you she didn't remember that time when she borrowed my shirt and never gave it back. So, it kind of started like with that. So when I get upset, it's like everything, I just open that little file cabinet and I just go in on every single thing that you've ever done in your entire life. And, you know, you can do it back to me, but that's why I live a certain way, and I live trying to be me. So this way, my file cabinet that you have for me can only be but so big because I don't really do much.
Right,
You know,
right.
I'm always the same way. I treat everyone the exact same. Most people either really love me or most people really hate my guts. I don't really have people that just like me. There's no gray area with me. You hate me or you love me. Like,
Yeah.
So I just feel like with that record, it's what I said. Like, I was never waiting for a response because when I have an argument, I don't want to argue and I say something, then you say something to hurt my feelings and I say something back. No,
You try
I
to
want to
have the last
shut you
word.
down and that's
Yeah.
it. I don't want to say anything. Like, I'm one of those people that you have an argument, I say everything and then I walk out where you're sitting there like, and that's it, slam, and then you're sitting there like, yeah, I don't want to go back and forth with you. I don't want to give you a chance to hurt my feelings back.
Right,
Like, that's
right.
not cool. But I definitely, it's been a lot. It won't go away. I realized recently that I really mastered the art of arguing after I put out this record, and I'm like, maybe I should have took it a little easy.
You think
But-
so?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think it.
No, I don't think so. But you know, it's over now. you
Yeah.
know? I mean, if she wants to say something, then cool. But I've said what I had to say, and that's really it. If she wants
So
to.
I know that your take right now is, you know, I said what I said. I don't care if she responds or not.
Right.
But do you think that she will?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know what it means to not care? Like, you
Honestly,
really
no,
don't
I
think
care
about
about everything.
Like, I really don't. Like, my favorite thing is like I don't care. I don't. If it doesn't have anything like this music thing, it's a blessing and it's a wonderful thing to be able to do something that's fun to you and that you enjoy and make money off of it. But when I was away all of that time, I wasn't dreaming about being in the studio. I wasn't, you know, wishing that I can go and, you know, make music. Like, I had those moments where I was like, oh, that beat is dope. I wish I could have rapped on it. But for the most part, I missed my husband. I was missing, you know, certain things that my mom cooks. I was missing, you know, just doing normal stuff like going to the movies and stuff like that. And that's the things that I care about. I don't think about music all day. I try to think about it not at all. Like, really, that's not, life is not that. I wasted so much time doing that. Prior to my incarceration, that's all I thought about. I would miss Christmases, I would miss Thanksgivings, I have a show, or I have to go overseas, or I have a tour, or I have this, I have that. And I didn't care about any of the little things. When you miss your only child's elementary graduation, junior high school graduation, when you miss Mommy Muffin Day and things like that, like, you start reevaluating your life and the things that you feel are important and a priority. I'm not gonna sit here and waste. I literally was on high alert all last week, like, cause if she says one thing, I'm gonna go with, like, I was on high alert last week. I'm like, I cannot waste any more time of my life on something so stupid as like a rap beef. Like, and plus I don't want it to go somewhere outside of music. Like, you know,
Yeah.
even though I said some really potent things and things that I really
Girl,
feel strongly
potent.
about.
Girl.
You know,
It was a full 7 minutes of potent.
There was not.
I just wanted to make sure I got everything.
On that
I
note,
felt
though,
7 minutes was fair.
Okay.
Listen, there was not a chorus.
There was a
there was not a
wide
bridge.
breadth of topics covered. Did you
Yes.
feel like there's anything in particular that's like off limits when it comes to that?
No.
Nothing about family, nothing personal, nothing you wouldn't want said about you.
Nope.
Everything's fair game.
There's like that's like saying like, oh, you have a fight with somebody, but don't pull my hair. I'm tender-headed. I don't care. Like, then don't get into a fight.
migraine, my
What are you talking
migraine.
about?
Tender-headed.
Like,
So you.
like that's how I feel though. Like don't pull my hair. I'm mad tender-headed. Like, please, like, punch me in my face. That's it. Just everything below the forehead. Yeah.
So you used the word fun at one point, and as I said before, first I was like, oh my God, but then I was like,
Ooh.
ooh, yeah. So was
I was
this?
enjoying myself as well.
Yeah, was this? I mean, I don't rap, never rapped, never thought I was a rapper. But was this? Was it fun? Because to me, it was like a return to like, you know, like the roots of just like the game. Did you enjoy it?
Did you like put on a candle?
Yeah,
like,
when
set
you
the
wrote it, did you like
mood?
set the scene? You had like a
Put on,
little,
like a nice little robe.
yeah,
I don't know.
nice house
Your
shoes,
battle rap
like-
robe. I don't know.
Or were you like doing like
No.
push-ups in the corner, like I'm about to body this bitch,
Yes.
like
Mom
like
spaghetti.
drinking raw eggs and shit?
No.
Like, what was the process like?
Yeah, silly. I didn't do it like I didn't think of it like that. I didn't realize that it was 7 minutes until after it was done. Like you ever like have an argument with your man, like you're going in and you realize after like, I was cursing him out for the past 3 hours. Like,
I guess I
shit,
had a lot
I didn't
on my
miss my
heart.
show. Like, it was like one of those type of things. Like I didn't realize it was that long until after it was done because I was like, oh, and then another thing, and you got people walking around here. Oh, and I forgot. Like it was like one of
I
those.
just think
type
it's
of
funny
situations.
how. That's the kiss of death. I just think it's funny how. One more question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I really, really love that you started this portion of the discussion talking about empowerment and support for women in the game across like
Right.
any sort of lines. And I saw in our research, when we were researching, you did an interview with Wrap Up a while ago. I think it was shortly after you came back home. And you were talking about a conversation that you had with Nicki once you got home. She called you and you were like, listen, they're gonna try to pit us against each other. Do you think that that's what happened here? Like, do you
Some
think
of
it's
it,
like, yeah?
some of it, I think, but it just bothers me that this record that I put out, where it's literally picking apart a female, went so viral and every media outlet wants to talk about it and pick it up. I feel like we could have did that same thing working together. Like I would have liked it so much better that way. You know what I'm saying? Like
Why
it doesn't.
didn't you?
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Were there projects you were supposed to work on?
You can't force somebody to do something that they don't want to do, Or and sometimes I don't know. I don't really know because we never had that conversation. Maybe one day if we sit down, I'm like, why didn't we work together? Or what was the problem? Or did you feel any type of way? So I don't know. I personally think it would have just been so much cooler to be like, yo, she's in this world and she did this, and I'm in this world and I did this, and we came together and we made something crazy. And everybody's like, yo, did you hear that shETHER that they did together? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, talking about something different as opposed to, yo, did you hear the shETHER where Rem was like, da, 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 like, I just feel like it could have been totally different. I don't regret it, but I'm not particularly proud of it. Like, I don't feel like, I just think it's crazy the way people celebrate, women attacking each other as opposed to working together. And as women, sometimes we don't see the value in us working together. We were so busy trying to make sure that we're the cutest or we're the prettiest or we're the most popular. We like that you don't realize like working together is just like could be so powerful. And I learned that. I learned a lot of things in prison, not because they taught me that, but because I was forced to learn it. Like when we couldn't, when we didn't have tissue or just when we couldn't get certain things, how women came together and was like, listen, we're gonna not go buy anything from commissary and we're gonna force them to pay attention to us. So we're gonna force them to change the phone system because it's costing us too much to call our families and we make 11 cents an hour. Like I seen how, women were working together and it was successful and it was, and it was peaceful and it wasn't like, that's all we had to lean on to each other. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I hated women before I went to prison. You get to catch me dead with more than two girls. Like
why?
Because I always felt like women are always trying to tear each other down. They're always catty. They like trying to like screw your man. They're like trying to like just make you feel less than they are. It's just always a competition. So I always grew up with and hung around a lot of guys, and I just had this real bad perception of women and females as opposed to, being friends with them, and I learned through my ordeal that, that's not always the case. Like once you take out the competitiveness and the cattiness and you're all fighting for the same cause, like we are very powerful. First of all, guys are like, listen to anything we say. Like, I can pretty much get my husband to do anything because he doesn't want to argue with me. So we kind of, we have the leverage. We have children, so we can install certain things into our children. We can, kind of coerce our men into doing things. So when we're all on the same accord, we can be very powerful.
Do you feel like there are spaces like the Wing where women gather, even if it's sort of informally, like spaces like that in hip hop, even if they're not like real physical spaces?
Yeah. Like, is there a wing in the hip hop game?
Right. Are y'all like on an email thread?
Somewhat. I'm gonna give you an example. It's usually with the women that came from like, I talked to Moni Love. There's a Moni Love.
Moni
Missy
in the middle.
Elliott.
Y'all don't know about it.
Queen Latifah, MC Light, they have like this like, you know, sisterhood thing going on. Like when everything started happening, like, are you okay? Is everything all right? You know, what's going on? Is there anything we can do? Like, this is not going any further. Like, you know, they're very, very like mother figure type thing, like, you know, to where they try to look after us and give us, like, I've never seen one of them, they not giving me pointers on my career or advice, and it's a great thing, but it's nothing tangible, like, you know what I'm saying, it's nothing like this, I've never been to anything like this ever, like, this is the only one, Audrey,
Shout out
that
to the wing.
exists
Shout out
for
to the
now.
wing.
This is like
Yeah.
the only one, and I think it's so dope and it's so cool where you can have, because like, I don't really have many friends at all. Like, the friends that I do have, I'm not really allowed to talk to them. I'm not supposed to be around them. So, you know, the only friend that I have is my husband. But I can't, like, have the same conversation that I would have with my husband that I would with a girlfriend. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I will tell him anything, and we talk about everything, and we share it, but it's not the same. So that female-to-female bond, like, real quick, I know this has nothing, you guys want to wrap it up. Like,
No,
for
please talk
instance,
forever.
like, no,
I
like,
live here now,
the
it's
thing,
We all
I
do.
recently, you know, had an ectopic pregnancy. A lot of people are saying it's a miscarriage, but an ectopic pregnancy is actually a normal pregnancy when everything is fine. Your pregnancy test comes back positive. You do everything like a normal pregnancy, but the baby is growing inside your fallopian tubes as opposed to your uterus. Your uterus is designed to expand. Your fallopian tubes, not so much. So, you know, what happens is once it gets to a certain point in the pregnancy, your fallopian tube can either burst when you'll have to get surgery, or if they catch it soon enough, they can give you medicine which shrinks the fetus or whatever, and you can save the tube. In my situation, this was my second time having an ectopic pregnancy, so I don't have neither one of my fallopian tubes. So I was really excited about, like, at first I was totally against it because I thought, like, this wasn't a good time to have a kid. But once I found out I was pregnant, my husband was so happy. I was like, okay, I'm happy. Let's go. Let's go. It's a wonderful
It was
thing.
so cute. I saw it on the show.
So, yeah, I was really, really happy. And then, you know, I found out other things happened in the following weeks. Note to women, if the second that you find out you're pregnant, get a sonogram, please, just to find out and make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, because most of the time it goes as far as mine did, because they don't give you a sonogram until you're further along, but whatever. So I found that out, and I was devastated. I'm like, you know, I really want to have a child. Like, to know that I won't be able to ever have children was just crazy to me. And the doctor, after I stopped boohooing snots and boogers, he was like, it's all right, it's fine. Your uterus is fine, your eggs are fine, we just don't have fallopian tubes. We can do in vitro, put the baby where it needs to be, everything will be fine. So I'm like, yes, great, fantastic. He is like, yeah, it's gonna cost you anywhere between 10 and 20,000, but you know, you'll be fine.
Oh my God.
What?
I didn't think about it because, you know, I'm not bragging, but I have about 10 to 20,000 to pay for it. So I didn't think about it. I was just like, great, I can have a baby. That's all I was thinking. It wasn't until I came out with it that I learned that a lot of other women go through what I went through, because I definitely felt like I was the only person on the planet that this has ever happened to. And about 80% of women that can't have children would actually be able to have children if they could afford in vitro. So 80% is a large portion. So there are 80% out of 100% of women who can't have children naturally. 80% of them probably could have children if they could afford in vitro. So what bothered me about that, two things. One, we have all these politicians that claim they're pro-life, and, you know, we should not be able, these women should not be able to get abortions and all this other stuff. There's nothing more pro-life than helping a woman who wants to have a child have a child.
Listen.
Then I realized that health insurance doesn't cover in vitro. So I can use my health insurance to not have a child if I want to, but I can't use my health insurance to conceive. I can use my health insurance if I want to be skinny and get a gastric bypass or something like that, but not if I want to have a child. And that made me, you know, start paying attention to what's really going on in this world, you know, as far as, you know, women are concerned. And I think that as women, if we came together on situations like that and we talked more and we had, like, I probably wouldn't have went through, there were like literally like 7 women that are close to me. I'm talking hairstylists, makeup artists, aunts that went through the exact same thing that I did. And
Wow.
I had no idea. Never, ever, ever didn't talk about it, not one time. Because we don't talk about stuff like that. Like, you don't go like, hey, girl, yeah, I went and got an abortion the other day. Like, oh, girl, I went and I lost my baby. Like, you feel embarrassed. You feel ashamed. And we keep these things to ourselves. And I wanted to talk about it because that's how I felt. I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I felt inadequate as a woman, that I couldn't, naturally get pregnant and give my husband a baby, and I was going to have to do all these things. But all of that went out the window when I realized, wait a minute, there's 80% of people outside of me that have the exact same problem, and they don't have the means to pay for this. And as women, we should stick together with people and figure out, like, we should be able to use our health insurance and do whatever we want. If I want to have a kid, I should be able to have 20 kids if I'm paying for it through my health insurance. And that's just something I want to put on you guys' radar, and just, like, be more aware as women, and, like, talk to each other. Like, no one ever told me, hey, you get pregnant, you should probably get a sonogram because your baby might not be growing in the right place, and then you could ruin your whole body and not be able to have it. So, that's just something that I said before I came here. I was like, I want to tell everybody about that, so that nobody in this room would have to go through what I went through, because it was really, really horrible. And I just want to say that.
I feel like that is a very sturdy and important note to end the official interview on.
Okay.
But the interview's not over. We've been having fun this whole time. We're gonna have a little more fun, and we're gonna switch to our rapid fire question portion, which is called, does anybody know? Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Y'all was so cute.
That was so corny.
I know, right?
Thank you.
Listen, if you ever want bad jokes, listen right here,
That's what
right
she
here.
does for a living.
I literally get paid to tell bad jokes. But these are going to be a lot of random questions.
Okay.
Some weird, but not all of them are weird. We're going to start with a weird one, though. So
The idea is rapid fire. A little
Yeah.
fast, a little quicker than
we're going to try. We're never
the
fast, so we're going
strolls
to try.
that we've been on.
Okay. Question number one comes from a post that our colleague Tali in the UK wrote. It's called, I've been drinking. It's called Would You Rather Questions That Are Impossible for a Black Girl to Answer.
Okay.
It's a very rude post. Please Google it. So, would you rather wear a foundation that does not match your skin tone, or have your leave out not match the rest of your weave? You have to pick one. Listen. Blame Tali. Tali.
So rude.
I agree. But you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one for the rest of your
I'm
life.
going with the foundation, because that leave out, you looking crazy. At least if your hair is popping, they might forgive the foundation me off. But if your makeup is late and your hair is like...
There's no forgiveness. There's no forgiveness. Would you rather have chronically chapped lips that no lip balm can heal, or always have chronically ashy hands that no lotion can cure? Really?
What are you gonna do with your lips? Like, as much as I talk with crusty lips all day, are you dumb? Oh my God.
Fair. So you were nominated for a Grammy.
3 times. But who's counting?
I excited for many reasons, obviously. But the thing that I think about whenever I think about the Grammys is the Instagram video of you in that goddamn dress. And the skin was just, it was like if somebody was like, what would it be like if the sun grew legs and decided to walk around? That was you. What is your skincare routine? Like,
Yes,
what kind
please,
of
tell the
lotion?
children.
What kind of butter? Like, what do we
kind of
need
cocoa butters
to
you
do?
got?
Well, I don't put anything on my face at all. Like,
Excuse
nothing.
me.
That can't be
Just
true.
water. No, literally. I only use water, and I use a white washcloth. Nothing like that has color
There's
or
no
dye in it.
cleanser. There's no moisturizer. There's no sheet mask.
Nope. When I take off my
That is
makeup, I use
rude.
Vaseline, and then I use water. And I keep
Vaseline on your face?
to get the makeup off. That's
Do you
it,
know
like,
what I would look like?
But you use it to get the makeup off, and then use hot water until the rag is clean, and then use cold water to like close your pores back. I don't. Every time I try something weird happens to my face. So I don't do that. And as far as my skin, I use this product. It's called Gleam, Gleam, by Melanie Mills. It is the most amazing stuff on the planet Earth since fried chicken.
Oh my.
Bold claims here tonight,
It's,
ladies.
no, seriously. I met her in LA. She works on the set of The Real. She does makeup there. And she used to be Brandy the singer, her makeup artist. And she told me she invented it because Brandy has like eczema. So she needed something when she was doing Dancing with the Stars that would like give her the shine or whatever, but also coverage. And she actually made this herself. It comes in different colors. Literally, when you put it on, it's like you have on like liquid sun. Like it's crazy. And it comes in all these different like cool colors. Like it's to the point that when I let people use it, but I dish it out in drops. Like that's enough.
$1 for you.
Just a
But
smidge.
it's amazing. It makes your skin I actually use it under my makeup when I have to do my own makeup. I'll put that on and it makes everything just look so like yummy. It's called Gleam by Melanie Mills. And
You're
she's
welcome,
a really,
everybody.
really, really nice girl too. It's not in all the stores yet. It's gonna be in Ricky's soon, but you can go to her website.
I can
We love
afford
Ricky's,
Ricky's,
don't
okay.
we? It's not there yet. I'm waiting. Right now, it's just in like professional stores, but you can go like to her website, Gleam by Melanie Mills, and you can get it. And all of them are dope. My personal favorites are the rose gold and the deep bronze, but she also has like this new one called like peachy something. That's anyway.
People are literally taking down notes. So this is
I'm
serious.
telling you,
I'm not
thank
mad
me
at her. I'm
later.
mad.
Thank me later. Like you don't even have to do your makeup. Sometimes like I'll just put it on. I'll do my brows and lip gloss, and you just look like you just came
my
from where
gosh.
you were at.
Okay.
I'm about to spend all my money. I'm about to spend all of my money.
It's not really expensive neither. So I'm just so you know, I'm like probably like the cheapest celebrity on the planet Earth. I'd be like, I hear a sale. I'd be like, I'm coming right now. Like, I do not play. I'm very, frugal.
I respect
Sorry,
it.
what was that? Frugal.
Not cheap.
Frugal.
Just,
I love As a
cost conscious.
famous- Sure.
Right.
When did you get your first pair of Tims? Baby's first Tims?
Ooh.
My son?
No,
Or
no,
me?
You.
My first pair of Timberlands?
Just as a Bronx resident, I assume
I don't know.
it's like a rite of passage.
You're not born with Tim's on?
I don't know. I don't. It's not like a milestone in my life.
I just assume that's what happens in the Bronx.
No.
Baby's first dead ass.
No.
I mean, I got my first Tim's in high school. I can remember. I still
I don't.
have them.
I don't really.
Oh, that's so cute.
You still have
Kentucky,
them?
I can't. Yeah. I was like, I didn't say I wear them.
Big
Hold
no-no.
on. My mama doesn't throw anything
Timberlands
away.
are good
so
for like
they're
3
there.
wears, and after that, it's over for them. Like,
Okay,
yes,
we don't have
it's
Remy
over
money,
for those.
okay?
No, seriously, like they're no good after that. They look crazy after that. Like they just start doing
Marlon,
this. Don't get rid of those.
I received this word. I receive it. I do
But
receive
I don't really know. That's not something that I documented. I can't tell you my first. Name.
it. So speaking of the Bronx, again, we have some young ladies from the Bronx here tonight.
Hey.
Hi
What did, and this might be a strange question, but what did the Bronx teach you about being a woman?
Well, what did the Bronx teach me? Definitely not to be affected by the word bitch. Like that was just like, bitch. Somebody calls me a bitch now, I'd be like, that's all you can come up with. Like literally, you be walking down the block, and they be like, shorty, come in. I'm like, they're like, fuck you, bitch. You be like, you was just calling me like,
Right,
what?
you thought I was cute 2
like,
seconds ago.
No, so like definitely like that word means absolutely nothing to me. Like it is like a term of endearment at this point. Like seriously, I think that like just having like a really tough skin because it was hard growing up. When I was growing up, I remember a lot of abandoned buildings. I remember, crack valves like looking like fruity pebbles on the sidewalks. It was like really bad drug epidemic when I was growing up. And you just had to watch everything. Like you had to be very, very cautious. As a woman, people think, you're soft and they could just pull one over on you. So I had to be, hard. I had an older brother and a younger brother who like abused me for like fun. That was like their favorite pastime. Hey, let's put gum in her hair, see how she handles it. But it definitely taught me to be independent and to be strong and to just not be a pushover, like seriously, because they did not care that you were a girl. They did not care that, you weighed like 60 pounds. It was 5'9". It gives you tough skin. And I think that's why I'm able to deal. Had I grew up like somewhere like nice, I probably would never have lasted this long in this industry. Like just the comments alone on like social media, I would be like, that's it, I'm killing myself. Like, now it's just like, blocked. Doesn't it feel so good when you block somebody? Yes. I was like, I blocked them.
Now you're in the sunken place.
Right.
Have you ever or would you ever get ass shots?
Oh.
Butt shots?
Are you dumb?
I am curious. No?
No. But one, I first of all, I think my butt is big enough. I was like this. Let me show you how I get in my jeans.
Stand up one time real quick.
You gotta do yoga to get in
I
the
get in every pair of jeans that I own. Like, God forbid that I had to squeeze anything else into them. Like, I would just wear sweats or spandex. So the most people who have ashes think like wear spandex all the time. Like, I don't want to own that many pairs of spandex. I actually like jeans. But no, I don't knock people who do. I have a lot of people that I know who've done it because I guess they feel like they want to change their bodies into something else, but I try to encourage people to not go with fads, one, because I definitely think it's a fad that we're going through, and not to just love the person that you're. Like, I have my daughter, she's actually my stepdaughter, but I look at her like my daughter. She's 20 years old, and she just be like, I feel like if I had a bigger butt, I would just be so much prettier. I'd be like, how would that affect your face? Like, I just don't get it. Like, how would you be prettier with a bigger butt? Like, just please tell me. And I like, first of all, like, I wish I was her size. She's like this big. Like, she's actually adorable. But
Is this the one that's on the show?
yeah, but she's not the one that's on the show. The one that you see on the show, that's not her. That's her, but that's not her. Trust me, she's a totally different person when the camera's off. But I feel like, you can do what you want, but make sure that you're doing it for you. Like, not because, I think guys like me, or I think this, like, it has to be for you. Me personally, I'm lucky enough to have somebody that just loves me how I am, and he makes me feel like I'm fine the way I am, even when I'm, like, totally, like, a cow. I'm like, I'm fucking fat as fuck. He'd be like, I like you. I think you look fine. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. I just got on the scale and said 195. Shut your ass up. You sat there, just ate a cheesecake and didn't gain a pound. Shut up.
I hear it.
So, I'm lucky enough to have that. But, I don't knock people do. It's just not something that I would want to do. Now, what I would. Now, the question, if I did do it, like, it would be my arms, but they would have to, like, literally cut my whole arm off because it's not fat. It's just like a giant muscle arm. So if they come up with something where they can just cut my arm in half, I'm gonna be the first one online. Like, get rid of it, get it out of here, like, please.
My fanciful cosmetic surgery is armpit transplants. Because I thought we
Am I
were
the only one
sharing,
confused?
y'all.
Don't act like we know what armpit
Because
transplants are.
I just have dark underarms, and I want to be like the motherfuckers in like the Dove commercials.
Love your dark
which is
underarms,
like
Tracy.
You know what? You're right, Heben. You're right. I should love myself. You're right. I thought we were sharing.
Well, I
thought
can
this was
give you a tip for that.
Oh, please do.
Now, like, seriously, like, in prison, like, this is crazy. Like, one of my prison things, again, I was like, she learns all this stuff in prison. I should get locked up. No. I'll give you all the tips. In prison, they use this soap. It's called Corecraft. I don't know where they make it at. That's what it says. You know how it says Dove on your soap? Where I read this soap says Corecraft.
Okay.
Just so you know, the chairs say Corecraft, the bed says Corecraft, the walls, everything says made by Corecraft. So I'm assuming it's like some prison company that's the only time you see it. But the soap literally I think it has a lot of lye in it. That's the only thing that
that's bad for you, right?
You can use it to like dye your hair. Like, we would be in there with a cheese grater, shaving soap, mixing it with like mouthwash, and you come out like bleach blonde. Like, seriously, this is how powerful this soap is. Like, everyone, like, when I came home, I was like probably like your complexion when I first came home. because you use the soap a lot. And then, of course, you're not really getting any sun because you're locked away. But if you could find someone in prison to send you some bars of Core Craft soap.
Core Craft. Got
and
it.
just use
Got
that
it.
under your underarms.
Okay.
Like, literally, you don't have any marks, everything.
I won't need the armpit transplant.
So, you know, maybe you should get a pen pal.
I'm open.
See if we can
Listen,
send you
I'm
some
open
soap.
to it. Bikini season's coming up. I gotta be
Hey,
ready.
A month of Core Craft, the armpit transplants, not even necessary anymore.
Okay, so we're gonna do a quick Q&A. And listen, we've already gone over time probably. Men like to do this thing where they're like, hey, seven-part question.
Three-part questions.
First of all, no seven-part questions. There are a lot of people here who would love to talk to this young lady.
Who want to ask questions?
A
Get
lot.
to your point.
Yes.
Effectively, ladies.
One-part questions.
One-part questions. Otherwise known as questions.
Otherwise known as questions. You're right. Hi, Amani.
Hi.
Hi. This is Amani. She's great.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. So I work on a campaign to close Rikers, basically. We're trying to close down the facilities in New York. It's one of the most notorious jails in the entire country. A lot of people don't know that about 80% of the people who are there haven't even been convicted of a crime.
What was the percentage?
80%. 80% of the people there have not committed a crime.
Wow.
Even though, you know, I don't think any human being should be in a cage, but that's something that usually like blows people. And I'm just wondering, like, as a New Yorker, as somebody who's from the Bronx, as somebody who's been formerly incarcerated, what do you think about the idea of closing Rikers in the city?
I don't really have all the details on it. I've spent about 4 months there, and it was pretty bad, just as far as the unsanitariness, like rodents and vermin and water bugs and just really, really nasty. There were worms growing out of the shower stall, the only place where you had to take a shower. It was really disgusting, but I do understand that there has to be some place for the people, for the other 20%. So I feel like it definitely could be healthier and more safe for the people, for the 80% of people who didn't do anything and you're just passing through there. Like, I should not, you know, have to endure those conditions until, you know, they decide what they're gonna do with me. So that's my take on that, because I don't really have all the information.
No, I
I'm
hear
sorry.
you. But thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I just want to say I love you. I know people fall in the camp of love you or hate you, and I firmly love you. Thank you so much for talking to us tonight. My question's a lot lighter. I want to know, once you got out, how was it adjusting to life, specifically, like, when you were locked up, there wasn't Instagram or social media or anything like that. What
Now
was
your
that
Instagram's
like?
popping.
I'm still adjusting. Like, I'm still adjusting. Like, 6.5 years is a really long time, you know? I try to explain it in terms of when I went to prison, my son was 7. And when I came home, it was a week before he turned 14.
Wow.
So, you know, that's one thing that I'm dealing with. I am still trying to learn and get to know my own child because he's not the same person at all. I'm getting to know my husband, he's been my husband for, you know, 8 years, but most of that time I was away, so we've never lived together. This is like very new. I have to get used to, you know, people leaving cereal bowls in the bathroom. Why were you even eating in the bathroom? But
Wait,
you know,
why is it in the bathroom?
I'm dealing with that. And definitely social media, like there was no Instagram, there was no Twitter. I had never even seen the iPhone. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I'm still trying to catch up on. Scandal. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
How dare them deprive me of that? But, you know, there's a lot of things that, and because I'm still moving every day, it's hard to it's not like I just have time to sit down and catch up on everything I miss. I have to move each day and try to, you know, catch up on certain things as I go. So it's a process. It's definitely isolating and you miss a lot, but it's actually kind of fun on certain things when you find out about certain things for the first time. Like, you're like, holy crap, these Louboutin things are amazing. They cost a lot, but they're so cute. So, every now and then you get a good surprise with the change of things that's happening. But it's a process.
Wait, can I piggyback on that? When you went in, it was Obama, right?
It was what?
Obama was president.
No.
No, it was the
No.
election of 08.
Yeah,
You
I
went
went
2006.
March 2008, and he became the president in November. So, yeah,
So then you came out and it
I
was,
missed both of them. When I came out, he was in his second term, so I missed both of them. Yeah.
I just want to apologize right now
So sorry.
for what you have stepped out into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez. Hi.
Hi. Angelina Darisaw, CEO of C-Suite Coach. So as a career coach, one of the things I tell my clients or talk to them frequently about, apart from even though you get money, it's always robbing season,
Right.
is the fact that you have to bounce back from setbacks, and sometimes really public ones like layoffs or being fired. You've bounced back with a bang from a very public setback. What would you tell young women and women who are professionals when they're dealing with some of the dramas of setbacks for how to bounce back with a bang in a winning way?
You can't listen to other people, because most of the time, people, they're basing their opinions on things that they sometimes haven't been through. Like, I had a lot of people telling me, you're not going to be able to do this. I'm telling you, you're not going to, okay, could you give me the advice of someone who was in prison for 6.5 years, left a Grammy-nominated artist? Like, I would like to get back. Like, there are people telling me, you're not going to be able to sell a record. You're not going to be able to this. People are not going to relate. In 2 years, I managed to get 2 more Grammy nominations. I was freaking hosting on daytime TV like 2 weeks ago. Like, these are all things that people told me that I wouldn't be able to do. So if you listen to that, you have to. My thing, what I tell people, how you have your motto. My thing is, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. I listen to me. If I listen to myself and my advice and my opinion, and it goes horribly wrong, I can deal with that. If I listen to what someone else told me to do against what my heart was telling me to do, and it goes horribly wrong, I'm gonna want to kill somebody. So, I can deal with, disappointment at my own expense. Do what you want to, because ultimately it's your life. No one's gonna be like, well, she probably did that because someone told her not to do it. They're gonna look at you like it was all on you. So just, it's great to take advice and to listen to people things, but ultimately just weigh your own options and just go for it. You only have this time that we have now. You don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You would have asked me in 2007 would I have been in prison. I thought I was past that. If you would have asked me when I was in high school, I'd be like, I probably would see the inside of a jail at some point, because that's what my life was looking like. At that point, I had one of the biggest records in the world, and I didn't see that happening at all. So you have to live life based on now, not on what it could be or could have been or whatever. That's my advice. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm Nanaya. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
Don't be
I'm
nervous.
Nanaya, and I was born and raised in the Bronx, and I'm here with the womanhood, and I'm 17 years old.
Shout out to the way. Yes, ma'am.
I'm 17 years old, and I've been part of the womanhood since junior high school. And with them, they was able to tell us about women's stereotypes and how to outgrow them. But being that I'm a senior now and applying to colleges, and there's so much drama, immature boys, and
Speak on it, girl. Speak on it.
Oh, being a senior now and applying to colleges with drama, immature boys who don't even understand you, what's your way of pushing negativity and focusing on the positive side?
Well, first let me just give you a heads up. Immature boys become immature men.
Listen.
Unfortunately, they kind of keep that thing going. They're consistent with that. But I tell my daughter, and I have 2 little sisters. They're not really little. They're 25 and 26, but they're my little sisters. And I tell them, when you do meet a man that's not immature and that's about his business, he doesn't want no guy wants a woman that he has to carry through everything. Like it sounds cool. Oh, I'm gonna get this guy. He gonna trick with me. He gonna buy me all the Chanel bags. Like no, he might buy you one or two in the beginning. After that, he's gonna it's annoying. It becomes a burden. So you want to have your own, and you don't want to have to depend on anybody. You want to be able to come to the plate with something as well. That if you're lucky enough, like one of my friends who I love very much, she has like the bomb man. Like he's like, I don't want you to work ever. Anything you need, I got you. I'm like, bitch, I wish. But you want to be able to say, this is mine, I work for, and it feels good to know when you go to your bank account, you be like, yo, I did this, or I'm doing this, or if you decide you want to splurge on something, or you want to buy something, or you want to take care of your mom or anything, to know that you're doing it. Like you don't need, anybody to co-sign on it. So, just know that that's your goal, to be able to be independent and take care of yourself. It's great to have someone that takes care of you and to have that other half, but to actually be able to do it by yourself without at all, in the event that you never be with someone else or a boy or a man or whatever, that's the best feeling in the world. Like, it is the best. I have a very, very supportive husband, and he does everything for me, but it just feels really good when, like, my mom or my sister or anything, and I go to my bank account, I'm like, here, go to Western Union or whatever, or you just take care of things, or maybe you do something nice for him. Like, it's a great thing. Stay on your path, stay in school, stay focused, and, map everything out.
Thank you.
Hello, hi.
Hi,
I'm
I have
Samara.
that jacket. You got it from Topshop.
I wore this especially for you. I was like, yeah,
I got
this is
that
Remy
jacket.
vibes. I'm Yamada from Brooklyn.
I like
I want 2 questions. It's going to be short.
Okay.
One, how do you tap into that? I know exactly. I was driving. I was in Jersey going to my aunt's party. Hot 97. I was like, what the fuck? What is this? How do you tap into that space, and what else can we expect from you from 2017 and beyond?
It's kind of rather easily. It's just like you're just dying. Like, you walk around every day, you're nice. People like, generally, I'm nice. Hello, how you doing? Good morning. Thank you, please. Like, you ever just want to be like, somebody hold the door, and you be like, yeah, you better have bitch. Like, you don't say it, but it's just like, what if I would have said that? So it's just like, tap into my what if I would have section. It's like kind of really easy to do. And I have my album out now, the Plato Plomo album that I have with Fat Joe, which I think is amazing. It's dope. I worked really hard on it. I have, I'm doing a book with my husband. It's a relationship book. It's so cool.
Tell us more.
No, it's crazy because, like, he's, like, really good with words. So, like, I be looking over his shoulder. I'm
We've
like,
noticed.
hold on, let me give us women better advice, because he's over here trying to show us out. But I'm doing a book with my husband. We might have a special with just us two going on, a little Black Love special coming. I have my album, 7 Winters and 6 Summers, that's coming out. I have a lot of things that I'm doing. I wish I would have brought my little notepad.
Well, you can come back whenever you need to promote things. Open invitation.
I know, but I just like to come here and chill. That salad that I had was so good. And that, that oatmeal cookie, who made that? Oh my God. It was awesome. But yeah, that's some of the things that I'm doing. And like, yeah, I'm like really petty. Like, I tell people that all the time. Like, so it's like super easy to tap into that side.
Hello.
Hi, baby.
I'm with Womanhood, and I'm from the Bronx too.
Okay.
And I watch Love and Hip Hop, even though I'm young, I'll be watching it. But my question was really like, I'm going off to college next year, and I know that you're from the Bronx. So I was wondering, like, how did you deal with like leaving the Bronx and meeting new people that are not from what you're familiar with?
Good question.
You know what? People outside, it's not even the Bronx, outside of New York, it's really different. So when I first started traveling, I was about your age, and I would go to places like, oh my God, Remy, I just love everything that you doing, girl. And they'd be like, and I just love your accent. I was like, my accent? Like, it was like the weirdest thing ever, like that to know that everyone that I had been around always talk like me, act like me, dress like me. There's so much out in the world, and my advice to you is to just take it all in. Take as much pictures as you can, write down, get a journal everywhere you go, the people that you meet, because when it starts happening and you start moving, you forget a lot, you miss a lot of things. I wish I had documented things way better than I did. Just take it all in, try different foods, visit, like I've lived in New York my whole entire life. I've never even been to the Empire State Building, never been to the Statue of Liberty. When you go to these places, go to the places and take everything that you can in and just enjoy being young.
Thank you.
Good advice. I'm sure we could sit here and talk to you and ask you questions all day and forever, but we're also sure that you have other things to do. You got a husband to get home to. We're not trying to get you in no trouble.
He's downstairs probably cursing me out. Yeah.
But we want to thank you for coming
you
out.
guys
Thanks
for
to
having
everybody here. Thank you once again to Remy Ma. Follow her on Twitter. Yes. You can follow her on Twitter at Real Remy Ma. You can follow her on Instagram at Remy Ma. We want to thank The Wing for having us. Hey. This was so much fun. Shout out to the young ladies and the future leaders from the Womanhood Project. We love you. We support you. Thank you for coming out. For everybody here in attendance, if you want more information, and I hope you do, go to thewomanhoodproject.org. Shout out to the Pod Squad. This episode was produced by Nina Paddock and Julia Ferlin with editorial oversight from Eleanor Kagan and Meg Kramer, a.k.a. our moms. We love y'all so much. Shout out to Jean Grey and Don Will for the music that you hear on the show every week. You can follow Jean Grey at Jean Greasy. You can follow Don Will at Don Will. You can follow Heben at heavenrants.com. Heaven like the place in the sky. Rants like the thing that men do all of the time. You can follow me on Twitter at Brokey McPoverty. Do it quickly because once I get some money, you'll be following me at Richie Von Moneyheimer. I'm working on it. You can email us, you can tweet us, you can Facebook us. We're another round on all the things. Rate us on iTunes. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend, support a fellow woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, find a woman to give your money to. I know that's weird to say to a room full of women. Find a man, tell him to give his money to women because we deserve it. And while you're at it, subscribe to our newsletter. You can do that at BuzzFeed.com/anotherround/newsletter. Drink some water, take your meds, call your person. What other advice you got? Don't get on Remy's bad side, y'all.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't
do it.
Learn sign
I'm
language.
innocent.
Everybody
so much,
go
y'all.
out safely. Have a good night. Good night. Woo-woo. Yay, we did it.
Did you see RuPaul's Drag Race last night?
Of course I did.
It blew my mind.
It's all I ever talk about, and I can't find anybody to talk about it with, so I am so thankful that you're here.
I mean, you have become my RuPaul's Drag Race soulmate, and I am thrilled that we have a new podcast at BuzzFeed called The Library, where this is all we talk about.
Here, it truly is RuPaul's best friend race.
I could not agree with you more. So join us every Saturday as we recap the latest episode of Season 9 and gag over TV's best reality show.
Tune in wherever you find your podcasts.